We did not. We opened Deputy of Detention, Mesmerizing Benthid, Angel of Grace, Tithe Taker, and what was this? Repudiate? That's what we ended up deciding that was. And the Pestilent Spirit. This card is surprisingly good. The 3/2 for 3 with Menace is just the relevant portion of it. The rest of his text is kind of whatever. The Death Touch is okay. It means you have to gang block it too. It just does a lot of damage before you can remove it. Let's see what our commons are like. This card's not so exciting that I care that much. This card's quite good, but not game-breakingly good. A 5/4 Flash Flyer is pretty damn good. It tends to eat one of their creatures. And its secondary effect tends not to be very useful, but its third effect of healing you up to 10 is okay. The Deputy I don't think is very good. There's a shit ton of removal in this format, like an absurd amount of removal, and the 1/3 just doesn't stay on the board long enough to really do that for any length of time, but maybe. This thing is annoying, but I don't think that most of the damage in this game does not seem to come from ground creatures attacking you on the ground. It's unblockables, flyers, and that type of shit in this format. So this card doesn't strike me as amazing and sealed. It's okay. It's definitely annoying. And then this card seems totally bad to me, but I think Replicate is probably playable. It's probably fine. I don't think tokens get... I don't think token copies get things with tokens on it, but you can then therefore adapt it again afterwards. It's probably fine. Haven't played with it yet, but... Okay. Doesn't the Deputy remove the enchantment? For a turn. Does it even target enchantments? I don't even know if he... Let's go look if he targets enchantments. I thought it was creatures, but maybe it's everything. Is it just permanent? Non-land permanent, yeah. Okay. But it removes it only for a moment. So let's take a look. What do we have here? We have 2 Summary Judgments. That's quite good. The rest of the white commons or whatever. Flyer and the Angel. The blue. Fairy Duelist is okay. Savant's okay. Slimebind's okay. These are okay as well, but neither of them are great. I like Code to Constraint a little bit. Code of Constraint, rather. Chillbringer's very good. Mesmerizing Benthid's alright. Mesmerizing. I don't love this sweeper in limited because you tend to hit your own shit, but it's okay. The Spirit's good. We missed all the black removal. Blade Juggler's good. Consigned to the Pit is very, very slow. It's okay, but it's very, very slow. And it feels bad that a Stormtrooper gets thrown into the Pit. I mean, it's always rooting for those guys. So let's see. What do we have in red? Garbage, 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 garbage. Good. Garbage, garbage. Well, that's not garbage. That's quite good. So garbage everywhere except for these two. Stony Strength is fine in green. The Hybrid's good. Creeper's good. Beastmaster is decent. Deputies. Whatever. High Alert. I feel like you want to base a deck around that, but we only have 2 copies of it too. Weird. Maybe that's something. I mean, the problem is it's another enchantment that when it comes into play does nothing. I don't gain a creature out of it. I just have to have a bunch of high toughness creatures to get any value out of it. So maybe. Sphinx's Insight is great. The Night Arbiter is great. Oligarch's great. Bellhaunt's pretty decent, but you have to be very black-white to be using that. It's harder to use this in a splash, of course. Thrall's fine. I don't like Roustabout pretty much at all. I haven't played Firewheeler more than about twice. And I think it's good, but again, it's very Rakdos. We took 7 with that, Zitnik. The Rubble Slinger is fine. The Frenzied Arix is quite good. Biomancy is quite good. Guildmage is quite good. Shark to Crab ×2! Oh my god! We have 2 of those, and a Guildmage, and 2 Shark to Crabs. This card is broken as fuck. An Applied Biomancy. And this card where we can have a 3rd Shark to Crab. I am in a Gate Colossus with Shark to Crabs. I'm playing that card. Let's get some Simic Guild Gates. Nice. Okay. White, blue, green, I think. The Simic Locket if we want it. It's a Scuttle Gator. Can play the Night Arbiter in that deck. Can play the Insight in that deck. Can consider High Alert. And then remove it in a little bit. Consider Deputy of Detention in there. Don't have any removal of any color. So we missed all of the red common removal. And we missed all of the black common removal except Consigned to the Pit, which is really extraordinarily slow removal. So we're on blue removal, which isn't really removal. It's like combat tricks. Can definitely play Chillbringer in this deck. We'll have to think about how we do that. It's probably Slime Binds, maybe some of these unsummons too. Maybe that, maybe this. Oh, maybe we're not. Maybe we're blue, green, splashing white, right? Oh, and we have the white removal too. Okay, so that's playable. Another flyer there. Summary Judgment ×2. Again, Justicar's Portal too. This is probably pretty damn good on Shark to Crabs, because it removes the counter off them. Chat, what happens? I think this is only blocking, right? I have to do this before blockers are declared. If I attack with this and exile, if I attack, it goes to blocking. So they've declared their blocker, and then I exile my attacker. It doesn't come back in part of combat, right? It comes back as a new card. So it would just not take combat damage or deal combat damage, right? Only on defense would it deal combat damage, because then I have to exile it before blockers are declared and then block. Card's good too. Yeah, we have Homunculus with that enchantment if we play that. Fairy Duelist is removal. It's worth considering. It's not removal. It's a bad combat trick is what it is. It's a 1/2 that 90% of the time you'd rather have in your hand than on the board. And the only thing it does is -2/-0. So I would not call that removal. Okay, so we're pretty short on removal, but we have some really solid creatures with this. I don't think the only way I can get more removal into this deck is by putting in Consigned to the Pits, and I think I'd only play 2 of these, and I think a lot of the times they just aren't very good because they're too slow and they don't do enough. And there's no other removal I'm missing. Light Up the Stage is not removal, although it's good, and the Recluses are good, but they're also not removal. Green, I think I missed everything in green. Oh, we're playing green. Why aren't I putting green cards in? Let's put green cards in our green deck. What do you guys think of that? Yeah, green cards in our green deck. All right. What are we playing and what are we splashing? So, early game. Fairy Duelist. This is such a questionable card. I'm right in the border of removing it entirely. Right now already, before we even looked at anything else. I like that early, I like that early. These are okay early, but I don't love them. They're a form of fixing, and they're not a particularly great form of fixing in my opinion. This card is very solid. No, we're definitely splashing white. We don't have enough white cards in here to main deck white. It's a little bit harder to splash Angel of Grace. Do we have any of the artifacts that give us mana of the white color? White mana, you might call it. No, we do not. I mean, we could put these in, pretend they're 2 drops and 3 drops, and be like, ah, we're playing white. Yes. Feels pretty bad. All right, let's start the other way again. I've gone too many cards in. It's too difficult with the layout of this deck, the layout of this page, to clearly see what I want to cut and what I don't. So let's start the other way again. Let's add the cards that I want for sure in the deck, the power cards, and then build around that. Colossus is a win condition. Shark to Crab is a win condition. I think this card as the cloning effect is fine. We're going to have good enough creatures to do that with. Guildmage is insane with Shark to Crab and just good in general. Applied Biomancy looks very good to me. The Night Arbiter is a win condition. Sphinx's Insight is excellent. I don't think we're in High Alert, although High Alert with Azorius Night Arbiter is ridiculous. Let's add this straight to the maybe pile. I'll play the Deputy of Detention, but I suspect it actually isn't going to do much for us. I think the Beastmaster is probably fine. I don't mind healers that trade and buy me time to get my shit rolling. I also don't mind the 4/2 who can fly for 1 billion mana. I like the hybrid quite a lot. Stony Strength has been relatively good for me as well. Still a combat trick, which is a bit mesmerizing Benthid. So this is our stall. We got stall over there. That's more stall. Also a win con. Removal. Quasi removal. What are we splashing white for again? The Deputy, the Sphinx, and the Arbiter. Oh, we definitely want both Summary Judgments in. Are we not playing the Angel? That's unfortunate. Angel's pretty good. All right. Let's add the other cards I would really like. We'll check our mana base, see if we can play Angel. I think I want that. I think I would like one of those. I don't think we're going to be able to play that, the High Alert. It's nice and gimmicky with the Azorius Night Arbiter. If we maybe had like one or two more of them, or I wanted to play Humongouses, that could be good. I mean, it's going to be there fucking forever. I have no defenders though, right? So it's not like I'm getting like defender value. Do I have that cheap like green defender? One that gives us mana and shit? No. The Owl's good with High Alert? Sure. Are we building a High Alert deck though with only 2 of them? Like, oh my god. Senate Courier. Sweet. Of the cards we're playing already, get a little bit of value of the Night Arbiter and the Owl. And this, remember, this doesn't do anything. It's a very expensive vigilance effect too, I guess. I don't think we're playing that. I don't think I'm playing that. I mean, the Owl's a good blocker, so I'm not necessarily cutting that Owl. He blocks a shit ton of flying creatures for a long period of time. All right, we need to cut some cards. What are we cutting? Okay. I think Scuttle Gator is unnecessary when we already have a Gate Colossus and Flyers and other stuff. I think Angel of Grace we're not going to have the mana base for, but we'll see. I don't know if we need the locket. Don't really like Deputy of Detention. Like, it's fine. Like, it's a good effect. It's just everything removes everything here. All right, are we an aggressive deck on the ground? We're sure as fuck or not. I think this is better maybe in Gruul than it is in what we're playing. I like these guys to trade. Block air creatures. This card is maybe not something we're playing. Bounce effect that draws me cards. Seems okay. We've got a lot of shrinking stuff. A couple removal pieces. I'm definitely not playing both of those. Although I might play one, and I'm unsure about the Stony Strength right now. Okay, so let's look at that then. What's the core? We're at 49. We have 8 cards here. So if I pulled all of those out, we still have to pull another card. How many 2s do we end up with there? 1, 2, 3. 3 2s and a bunch of shit in there. This is a bounce spell too, right? Yeah, we're going to hold on to that. I think we're going to play that instead of Stony Strength. And then 5 3s, all doing roughly the same thing. This card is still so questionable to me. Beastmaster have any synergy with our deck? I think it's like another Gruulish card. It's just fairly strong. It's ETBs, right? Yeah, it sure does. ETB, ETB. Definitely a card we'd like to clone. Definitely a card we'd like to clone. Definitely a card we'd like to clone. It's an argument for that Beastmaster. So hold down the fort long enough to do shit to win. Seems reasonable. All right. Stony Strength, don't mind cutting it. The Wayfinders, are they better or worse? Is it better or worse to Scry 2? This is essentially Scry 4 except we can't put them on the bottom. Also can't put our removal there. Do we have removal? We do have a little bit of removal. I think I'm going to keep the Savant over the Wayfinder. It's kind of close for me. Can the first draft be a chat vote draft? No, but we can maybe do one of those a little bit later in the day. Don't think we need the locket. We already have one draw card. I'd love to play Angel of Grace, but I almost guarantee we don't have the mana. But let's look at what our mana base breaks down to. Did we have an Azorius Guildgate? We did. So we're running 3 Guildgates here. We're going to end up with like 3 to 4 white sources. Maybe 5 if we're really pushing it. We need double blue. We need green early. The way it's set up for us right now is 5 green sources. Oh, that's cute. All right, let's add some green sources. 7 green sources, still a little bit low. This is how many white sources right now? 5. Can we go down to 4 white sources and cut the angel? 8 blue sources, 7 green sources. So we run 8, 8, 3. Could try to get that Simic lock in. It's not like Messenger is so great. It's just that we're a little short in flyers and it's a body. Chump blocker too. No, I don't like the 1/1 flyer. 8 mana convert is really high. Do we have mana sinks? We've got a mana sink on, yeah, we've got adapt creatures, right? So we have decent mana sinks. 2 shark to crabs. The guild mage and the hybrid. Plus a draw card. Plus tricks. It's probably okay. Am I okay with the mana base? 4, 8, 8. Yeah. 8 green's kind of a lot, but we do want green early. 2 of our green cards there, 2 there. All right, let's run this. I think we can make this work. I don't have the mana base to support the Angel of Stysiag. I only have 4 planes in my deck, which means that or 4 white sources in the deck, and I don't have lockets that provide white mana. So if I were to try to get that mana base to support that, it's going to be really rough. It is a strong card, and it's a 5-power flyer, which is probably one of the ways which we win. No bombs. Have you seen Shark to Crab? I mean, we could decide what would be the card we would cut in favor of the Angel if we were to play that. I don't think we can. I like this card, but I don't think we could. But let's say we wanted to cut something. What would it be? Preferably a single copy of something. Maybe Code of Constraint. Since we have Slimebind, which does a very similar effect for slightly less mana. Not quite the same effect since this draws a card, but let's pretend. Let's pretend we cut Code of Constraint, and we'll see here. We can't really cut green sources, so just imagine we have every time we have Code of Constraint, we could have Angel of Grace. Okay. Can get cheaper. Okay. All right, let's play this. All right, I'm going to grab water, and then we are going to start our game. Back in a second, guys.